many times have you looked at travel brochures or gone on the internet and looked up the Greek islands and thought, oh, I'd love to go there with my family, but then you just think, no way would we be able to afford that. If you saw that on Instagram or something, you'd imagine you're going to be paying $200 for a night out. So let me just tell you, so we went there.
And cost 300.
Pardon? Yeah. That's a remortgage our bloody house. In this week's show, we're going to share with you every single cost that you can think of when you come to Greece so that you can stop dreaming and get yourself over here.
Hello. I could eat about 1.5 million of these.
Well, nobody's perfect.
Welcome to the It's a Drama podcast.
My mother thanks you.
If you can't say something nice.
All right, Mr. DeMille, I'm ready for my close-up.
Hello and welcome to the It's a Drama podcast. I'm Liz.
And I'm Brian.
And today we're going to be talking to you about how much it cost to have a holiday in Greece, on the Greek Island of Paros.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the
Cyclades
Islands.
No, it's not Cyclades.
Cyclades?
No. Anyway, so yeah, that's what we're going to be talking about today. We know stuff, me and Brian.
Yeah, we do.
No, the reason we want to talk to you about this is because I was on the phone to my brother. Well, basically what we're doing is we're travelling Europe for 6 months. For those of you who don't know, we're driving our car that we bought in the UK down from London to Greece to meet our kids in Greece, have a holiday, and then driving back again. And I was talking to my brother yesterday and he was just asking me all these questions about how much things cost. He said, we want to go on holiday to Greece next year and, you know, we're wondering out how much things cost. So we thought, I know, we'll do a podcast and we'll just tell you exactly how much this holiday is costing us. And the reason I'm saying holiday and not travelling like we normally would do is because I reckon we're splashing out on this.
Well, we are,
aren't we, Brian?
because this trip to Greece, being in Greece, was to pick the kids up from the airport for their 18th and 21st birthdays.
Yeah.
And so we have got 3 weeks in an apartment studio type building. It's not a hotel, is it?
No, and we'll talk about that in a bit, about where we're staying and how much it's costing us. So, yeah, just to be clear, we've spent a week in Athens and we've had we're going to be having 3 weeks on the island of Paros, which is where we are now. Oh, you'd love it where we are now. We're sitting in our room with the doors open and we're looking out onto the bluest sea. We've got a little balcony with a little washing line on it. I just want to make sure that you know the picture. There's a little tiny washing line against the wall and there's some pegs and some towels hanging up. And we can look out and we're seeing the Agean Sea and it is, there's no other place in the world with a blue sea like Greece.
It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like when, it's a 3-hour ferry nowadays. It used to be a 12-hour ferry. The first ferry we got back in about 90, well, I got with you back in about 91. It took us 12 hours.
Yeah.
Because it was the cheapest. And
Yeah.
we didn't know that. But it took a whole day of our holiday, didn't it?
Yeah.
And 3 hours now.
And that's the other thing I just want to say as well. It's really quick, Brian. How many miles an hour is that, Brian?
It does 70k an hour.
Does it, Brian?
A ferry. It's huge. And it's just 70k. It's like twice as fast as the Titanic.
Yeah, that's the other thing I want to say is we've been to this island. We worked here when we were mere teenagers, or when we were younger anyway, when we lived in England.
Yeah.
I came over here for the first time when I was 17 and I've worked over here for 3 summers. Brian's worked over here for a couple of summers and it's just... Yeah. But when we came then, it was the drachma and we were skint. We were absolutely skint and we did everything on the cheap. So it's been really interesting to come back again now and be loaded.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but the thing is we came back in 96 and we came back in 2002, I think it was, wasn't it? Or 2001. And it was so expensive because they joined the EU. Remember?
Yeah.
It was just ridiculous. All those cheap seafood restaurants sitting there around the port, they were paying by the kilo for the fish. And you were like, I think back then it was about 30 or 40 euros a kilo. And it was just like, what have you done? And it's still like that now on those just around the port, isn't it?
This is going to be a happy podcast,
I know.
Brian.
I know.
I
just needed to let you know that.
I know. I can see that little frown on your face.
Yes.
But I just want you to know. I know
There's
we
a few
didn't.
nightclubs popped up here and there as well. Which
Don't
is
be
not
one
good.
of those angry men that,
I'll
like, you know.
go and get my testosterone pump out.
Of course.
I would be angry then.
So yeah, that's where we're sitting. We're in our little room and we're looking out, and we just said, let's do a podcast. For if you're thinking now, I'd love to go to the Greek islands, but how much is that going to cost me? You are going to love this episode. So let's jump right in. We've made a list of the things that we think that you'd want to know the price of.
Yep.
And we're just going to talk to them. So yeah, that's the backstory of why we're here spending this money.
Yeah.
It's our treat to ourselves. By the way, if you
And the
haven't,
kids.
pardon?
Yeah, and the kids as well.
Yeah, but if you haven't heard the podcast, How We Afford to Travel, so if you're sitting there thinking, well, how can they afford this when they're not working? Go and listen to that podcast. It tells you all about how we built some businesses and we're trying to make money online, and we're succeeding at that, aren't we, Bri?
Well,
I still feel weird saying
I know,
that.
because
I still
you
feel so
always think
weird.
that something's going to come and stop it all tomorrow. And you just think, no, it's
Yeah,
not,
what is
is
that?
it?
What is it that you're almost scared to say, oh, it's really good,
It's working.
for the fear of it, someone going, and I don't know what that someone or something is, but the fear of something going, oh, you shouldn't have said that because now I'm going to take it off you.
Yeah,
there
but
you go, it's got
called,
nothing now.
Yeah, it's called Murphy's Law. That's what it is. It's like, someone says, oh, how's the car doing? You go, it's flipping brilliant, mate. Next day, it doesn't start.
No, but that's not true.
Yeah, but that's Murphy's Law. That's what it's called, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I
Like,
don't
I
like
know, but that's
Murphy's
why.
Law.
Yeah, but that's where it comes from. That's what I'm trying
Who's
to
Murphy?
say. He's an Irish guy, obviously, wasn't he, with
Well,
a name like Murphy?
Why would he make
Ah,
that
to be
law?
sure, that's
Bloody
what it was.
miserable sod.
I know.
Don't be happy because I'm going to put an end to it.
Yeah, but that's it. That's the whole thing. And
Forget
it's
that
like,
then.
yeah.
I
I don't believe in that.
No.
If you make it, if you think like that, then it will be like that.
Exactly.
There you
and
go.
that's why I'm always, but I've just got to get over that mindset
I
of
know,
saying,
but we never stop working because here we are on our holidays doing a podcast.
yeah, well, obviously, who else have we got to talk to? I was sitting here
Kids.
talking to you all
They don't
day.
want to talk to us. Still in bed.
Yeah, exactly. It's the only time me and you get to have a proper conversation
It
when
is.
we do a podcast.
Yeah.
No, it's not true. Anyway, right, stop going on and let me just jump
stop,
straight
Lindsay.
in. First thing you need to know about that's very, very important and would make or break your holiday is wine. You know how much me and Brian love our wine, and we drink a lot of wine.
Yeah, and we're not wine connoisseurs. Anything will do at the right
Of course
price.
it will.
As
I'll
long
drink petrol if it's coloured red.
Yeah, no, petrol's more expensive than wine
Yeah,
at the moment.
true.
It's ridiculous.
True, yeah. No, we love our wine, me and Bri, and like I say, we will drink, we'd love having a glass of wine every night. And so it's important because you don't want to be coming to a country thinking, how much is it going to cost? Imagine going to a country where you get a glass of wine and it's $10.
Yeah.
Oh, Bri, before we start, should we just say what the euro? We're doing
The
it in
currencies that
the
we're
currency,
talking about.
that's
Yeah.
the
So
word.
a euro is almost identical to the US dollar.
Yes.
Within 3 or 4 cents to 5 cents at the
Right.
moment on this day.
So anything we say in euros, apply it to US dollar,
Yeah.
and you'll be about right.
And the pound's a little bit different. It's about
Pound's
£1.
85p, isn't it?
Yeah, I think for every sort of $10 that we talk about, you just take
So if it's 10 euros,
take
it's
£1.50 off it.
£8.50.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. So that
And
gives
if
you
it's
an
20,
idea.
then it would be there you go. 17.
Right, so wine. Honestly, in Greece, let me just say that when we used to come to Greece all those years ago, the wine was like flipping, it was disgusting, wasn't it,
It was
Brian?
crap. I have to say that word. It was rubbish. Wasn't
It was
It was like
rubbish.
Retsina. You could get some local wines. There was one called, it was a Paros wine, and it was called Ruby. And it was kind of drinkable. It was all right, and it was in a nice bottle, wasn't it? Like a blown glass
Oh,
bottle.
yeah, I remember that.
And it had Ruby written on it. And it wasn't cheap. It was even then, it was about £8 to £9 a bottle.
Oh, maybe we should just say, so it gives you an idea of how much we would normally pay. So it gives you an idea of what our standards are. We'd normally only pay about $2 a bottle. No. Okay, so when we're at home in New Zealand, we pay around about 12 to 15.
No, we pay about 50. It depends. Depends what if it's on special. So from about no, we don't really pay 12. 12's a bit about 14 to
No, we don't. We
$18.
pay 12.
No, we don't.
Yes, we do.
Well, I buy a lot of the wine.
No, I know, but if I go, I'll buy that nice
because you're
bottle.
a skinflint and you
No.
like to buy the cheap stuff.
Do you know what, Brian? Do you know
What?
the trouble is?
Yes.
Let me just tell you about this, and
Okay.
I bet you everyone agrees with this.
Yeah.
If I was to get 2 bottles of wine, right?
Yeah.
And pour them into 2 separate carafes
Yeah.
and give you the cheap,
The petrol.
give you the petrol and go,
Yeah.
taste this. Hang on, let that motorbike go past.
Yeah, we're on a really steep hill as well at the moment.
If
so-
I said to you, here, taste this, Bri. This is, and only have a little sip, Bri, because this is $100 bottle of wine. You are not telling me that you would not know that was cheap wine.
Well, yeah, I would.
Thank you, Brian.
There you
No,
go. I
no,
would.
you wouldn't.
Yeah,
You wouldn't, Brian.
I would.
You're a liar
Yeah.
because you wouldn't.
Because
you take that wine, you go, oh, that's
Yeah.
lovely. I wish we could afford to drink this wine more often, Liz. Wouldn't you, Brian?
Yeah, but the thing is New Zealand wine isn't that cheap, is it?
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So $12 to $15. Like if someone comes to our house, there's this really nice wine in New Zealand. What's it called? That Central Otago one that we love but we can't afford.
Well, it is. It's a Central Otago Pinot Noir.
Yeah, what's it called?
Oh, I don't know. There's
Anyway,
loads of different ones.
If
isn't
they
there?
come to our house and they bought us a bottle of that, honestly, we're flipping doing backflips, aren't we, in the kitchen? We're like, oh, have you seen what they've bought? Save that
Silly
when
fools.
they've gone. Just get out the petrol, Brian.
Let's do the real English thing and not open the wine you've given us.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird when you used to do that? You go to someone's house and take wine and they wouldn't open it. You're like, please, can we drink that nice
know,
wine?
it's a
I
bit
don't want to
annoying
drink.
that,
I don't want to
isn't
drink
it?
this stuff that you're giving
It's
me.
taken me ages to choose that in the
It
supermarket.
costs a lot of
Open
money
it.
as well. Yeah. And it's etiquette to do that, not to drink the wine on the night that you take them.
Anyway, so that's what our standards are. So $12 to $15 New Zealand dollars. So £6. Don't know how much
Obviously, if
that is
there's
in
any
US
wine
dollars.
people out there would like to send us some wine, I quite
that
can
would
go
be
well over the
nice.
$15.
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
sitting
I don't
here.
want to pay for it, but you can send it to
Yeah,
me.
that would be lovely if you'd like to send us a bottle.
I
Anyway,
like Church Road.
so that's the kind of standard we're at. So I don't know. I reckon that's about normal, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we've come to Greece.
That's supermarket wine, isn't it?
We've come to Greece and a litre of red wine, house wine, and I'm not joking, it's nice. You can get white, you can get rosé, or you can get red. Guess how much? How much, Brian?
I'd say I would guess at around about €12.
You're absolutely right, Brian. You're a really clever man.
which
You
is
must
like-
know Murphy.
I do. I know. And that's a litre as well, so it's way
litre.
over. It's like another quarter of a bottle on top.
The other night, though, we went for a meal, didn't we, Brian? Just me and you. Because the kids had just been driving us mad and we were like, oh, sod this, we're just going out on our own. We just needed some space. So we went down the road and we went to this restaurant and like it's too cheap not to order a litre. It's rude not to order a litre.
Yeah, but you can
Brian.
leave it, can't you? And they'll
can
bottle it
leave
up
it.
for you and you can take it home.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can leave it. And honestly, I just felt like, I just thought everyone was looking at us because we're like, can we have a litre of red wine, please? And he brought it out, Brian. It was embarrassing, wasn't it? It was like a bucket,
It was,
a glass
yeah.
bucket on the table filled with wine. It was bliss, wasn't it?
It was. Sitting right on the beach as well.
And I
with-
loved what you said because I said, oh, Brian, this is too much. Look at us. We look like alcoholics. And Brian said, Liz, this is going to be a long night. Didn't you, Brian? I loved it when you said that.
It was absolutely packed, the restaurant, and we chose to sit on the beach, unknown to us that the sunrise that came up, the moonrise, not the sunrise, yeah, because we were there hours.
It was a long
The
night.
moonrise was just about 9:30. Everyone just started clapping, didn't they? And then
Oh,
they
that's
turned all the lights
lovely.
off in the restaurant, and we were actually, and it just that it was a full moon that came up. It was fantastic, wasn't it? It was
Yeah.
like a deep red colour.
But can you believe that? A litre of wine for €12. I haven't written it down what the conversion is, but
Well,
I think that's about £10.
Yeah, it would be about
£10
that,
and
wouldn't it?
$12
Yeah.
US dollars.
Yeah.
You know?
It's just ridiculously cheap, and it's not bad wine. It's not like it
No,
used
it's
to be.
not
That
bad
Retsina
wine.
from years ago is like, they still sell it, but it's just like, it just tastes like normal European wine.
The other night we went out for dinner because it was Tessa's 18th birthday and we went to this Italian Do you know what? I hate it when you do this. You try and be posh and make an effort. It was her 18th and instead of just thinking, we'll just go to a local, like that one we've just been to on the beach, instead of just thinking, we'll just go to a local restaurant, I tried to make it nice for her. And I was like, oh, would you like to go to an Italian? Well, so anyway, we went to this Italian restaurant in the centre, down in Parakia, which is the capital of.
Well, it's not the capital,
Well,
but
it's the main
It's
town.
the main town, yeah.
In a minute, we'll tell you about Paros and I'll tell you a bit more about it. And we went to this Italian restaurant, and you know when you walk in and you're like, oh no, I've made the wrong choice. And I could see her face, and she was like, oh, there's not many people in here, is there? And I was like, no, it's nice. Look, they've got a cat and everything. The resident cat. Oh, look at these vines. They're
And they
nice.
do gluten-free.
How Italian. Yeah, well, that's why we went there, Brian.
I know, but
Because
Tess loves
gluten-free
pasta
now.
and she does love pizza.
I know, and I was trying to make it nice.
Yeah, and she did say she'd just had 12 days of Greek food, and it was like, 10 days of Greek food or whatever it was, and she just said, I quite fancy an Italian. And it's like, okay.
But anyway, we went to this restaurant, and the lady who owned it, she was Italian, obviously, but she was really pushy and really trying to upsell everything. And she's like, and I said, can we have a litre of wine? And she said, I think because it is your special birthday, you have a nice bottle of wine. And I'm like, what are you trying to say? So I was just didn't want to make a fuss, and I didn't want to look like a tight ass sitting there going, no, a litre of red will be fine, thank you. So I said, okay. And she said, how about you take this wine? And it was an Italian wine, and I don't know, it was like 18 euros or something, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Right. Well, for a start, it was gone with the first glass because there's 5 of us, so that was gone.
Yeah.
And
we didn't even get a glass, did you?
No, and it was just like, I tasted it and I thought, I've been ripped off because it's no nicer than the Greek house wine.
It's true. It wasn't,
Before we go any further, it's taken us all this time just to talk about wine, Brian.
That's all we've talked about is wine.
Yeah, well.
And it's what we're like 15
Our
minutes
audience
into it.
likes wine, Brian.
Yeah, you better add.
Yeah. Don't you? Anyway, the island of Paros it's 3 hours from Athens, like Bryce said, on the fast ferry.
On the fast ferries.
Yeah.
Normally about 4 or 5 hours normally.
You can drive around the whole island in what? An hour? 2 hours? 3
Not
hours?
even that. Well, yeah, it depends if you take the coast road.
Yeah.
The main road that is like a ring road and around the island, and it's not really a main road. It goes up over the mountain and everything. There's hairpin bends and stuff like that. It takes you about 40 minutes, I suppose, to drive around. And that's not taking you. It's just taking you on Mudgeon slightly in from the coast.
Yeah.
It doesn't really take you along the coast, just over the mountains, really. But it'd take you a good day to go through all the roads and go down the little dirt roads and stuff like that.
And it's just, I'm biased because, like I say, we've been here lots of times before when we were younger, but it's just beautiful. It's really, really lovely. It's got fishing villages dotted around. It's got beautiful beaches,
mountain villages as well.
Yeah, mountain villages.
They're gorgeous. Some of the little restaurants, tavernas up in the mountains, just look over the valleys and down through.
It's got the highest church. Isn't it on Paros that's got the highest church, the highest village in the whole of the? Is that just Paros?
That's just Paros. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Lefkas is the highest
water
village.
is warm. It's crystal clear. The sand is beautiful. The people are lovely. It's just I just love it.
It's
I
great,
love it.
and it's very dry and very yellow at this time of year. I'd imagine winter time and springtime it's quite green.
And I was scared actually about coming back to this island because I thought, when you go somewhere when you're younger and you have these really good memories of it, bearing in mind we haven't been back here for 20 years, and you think, oh no, what if I go back and it's just all changed and it's rubbish, and it hasn't changed.
It hasn't changed like
Brian?
that, no, because you still got the village, the fishing village of Nassau has just got those tiny little streets that you walk through, not big enough to get a car through, and it's all been painted in the like the crazy paving has got all the white grout painted around it, and it's just so picturesque. Isn't it? It's gorgeous. It really is
so Greek.
Yeah,
and all the flat-roofed houses, the white
and the
houses.
Smells at the moment. There's the chamomile is out, and you see people just clipping all the chamomile to put it into a big bag. Yeah, there's oregano. There's like curry plant flavors, smells and things, isn't there? And
I wish you could bottle the smell and sell it because it's just like
loads of people are you just see them collecting capers.
Yeah.
And they're just getting bags of capers off just from the side of the road and things
And I had a green salad last night. We'll tell you about the meal and how much it costs. But I had a green salad and it always comes with capers, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does now,
and they're such sweet capers, just lovely. Anyway, so while we're talking about food, let's talk about meals because and I know the one thing that's important after wine is your food and how much you're going to spend. And you don't want to be a skinflint and think, oh no, we can't afford to eat out. We'll just heat up a tin of beans in the room. You want to be able to know if you can afford to go out or not. So what we've done is we've put together some prices for 2 people, a budget meal, we've had both, and a nice meal, which is the one we're just telling you about, which was on the beach. So a budget meal, you can go like we did with Sunny the other day, didn't we?
Yeah, it's just a souvlaki. So like it can be 2 things. You have a gyros, which is...
Actually, Brian, it is gyros.
Gyros. All right. Gyros.
Say it again.
Gyros.
No.
What?
Gyros.
Gyros.
That's it.
Oh, hello.
Oh, Brian.
Oh, Calamari.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Go on, Brian.
Je m'appelle Maureen.
Shut up. Go on. Don't be so
What?
intimidated.
I'm not.
You do. You don't like to be. You don't like to be corrected. But the thing is, you
Alright.
have to learn how to roll your.
So anyway, a
gyros.
gyros,
Gyros.
which has
Gyros.
it would have like meat. God Almighty. Chips, tzatziki, and a bit of salad thrown in it, wrapped up in this super soft pita.
Oh, it's lovely, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
You can get one of those for €3.50. Sonny has it all the time.
He does.
It
That's
comes.
his lunch.
I'm just going to
That's
add to that
mainly.
because Brian just didn't sell it to you, right? Okay,
No.
it's the most
Like
succulent.
I wasn't allowed to eat it. That's why.
No, Brian doesn't know what it tastes like because he's silly little gluten-free. Right, it's the most succulent, juicy pork that's just been marinated in olive oil and oregano, and they cook it on the barbecue, and then they pull it off the skewer and they ram it into the softest pita, smear it with tzatziki, which is yogurt and garlic and cucumber and sometimes dill, and then they just put some hot French fries on top, and then they wrap it all up in greaseproof paper and hand it to you.
It's like a big chip butty, isn't it?
It's flipping lovely, and that is €3.50.
€3.50 to €5, isn't it? Depending on where you go. But this is the budget one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Where it's just you have to stand for about 10 minutes to get a seat.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
So you could go there and you could have that and a Greek salad, which is going to cost you no more than €5. I haven't seen Greek salad. Well, yeah, in that posh restaurant it was 6 or 7.
Yeah, but this is the cheap one.
This is the budget.
This is the budget one.
And with a Greek salad, you just need to know, it's not like the Greek salad you get at home. You know, they just don't know how,
It's a
only the
slab of
Greeks know
feta,
how to
isn't
do
it?
Greek salad,
Yeah.
yeah. It's cut up tomatoes, roughly cut, chopped red onions, sprinkled with oregano, slathered in olive
Cucumbers.
oil and cucumber, and 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 lemon juice, and it pools at the bottom of the bowl. So like you just have a pool of olive oil and lemon juice and all these herbs, and then on top of the salad is the most loveliest delicious slab of fresh feta. And when I say slab, I'm not talking mean little pieces, I'm talking like the size of a chopping board, aren't we, Bri?
Yeah, it's like the pack you buy, isn't it? You know, the
Yeah,
flat pack of
just the whole
cheese. You
pack.
just chop it into 6 and then you throw it on top, don't
Oh, and it's so
And loads
so
of oregano
lovely.
on it.
Yeah,
Just
it's
like,
so
yeah.
fresh. So you could have a gyros and some salad, and it's going to cost you no more than €10, right? So €10 is $10 or £8.50.
Then that can be a good lunch or just a cheapy night.
Yeah. When we
Where you
want a
just
cheap
make
night,
that.
we say, "Oh, should we just go down and have souvlaki?"
Yeah, and that's what you do.
Yeah. And actually,
Not
while,
as cheap as Athens though. Athens was bloody cheap, wasn't
my
it?
God, yeah.
That little place that we went to, and
Yeah.
it was like you get 3 sticks of they were €1.50 each.
yeah, €1.50. Yeah.
And they were just like, and it's such good. And he said, "Where are you from?" We said, "New Zealand." He said, "Oh, I cook New Zealand meat on my grill."
Yeah. Yeah.
So you think, wow, well done, New Zealand.
And also, I'll just say as well, because I was a bit mean, with Brian being gluten-free, there is so much on offer for gluten-free, isn't there,
especially
Brian?
in Greece, because you just have to have salads and souvlakis, but you just stay away from the pritas and things like that, and you have to stay away from the calamari, which is a shame, because
Calamari
they
is
coat
squid,
it
isn't
in
it?
flour and then
Yeah.
just they fry it, don't they? But you can anything grilled or the grilled fish, as the lady likes to call it. You can have anything that's grilled, which is just thrown on the hot plate, basically. The barbecue, and they grill the fish and they grill octopus and stuff like that.
Brian, tell the truth.
Yes.
Where in Europe, because you found out you were gluten-free in England just before we came,
well,
right?
it was in New Zealand, actually.
And we've travelled, but literally it was 2 days before
Yeah,
we
it was
left.
before we left.
So
yeah.
New Zealand doesn't count, right?
No.
Where we've travelled through Belgium, France, Italy, and Greece. So those 4 countries in England. But whereabouts have you most thought, oh my God, I wish I wasn't gluten-free?
Do you know, probably Greece, to be honest.
Really?
Just for the fact that you want to get a big bowl of tzatziki and just whack some of that Greek bread in it, scoop it up and eat it. And it's not quite the same putting it on the meat and things, so I really miss the
Do
bread
you?
side of things and just having the gyros because,
Yeah.
that's what we always used to have. We used to go to George's in Palakia, didn't we? On the other side of the island from where we are now. And they were the best. He didn't ever put chips in there, did he?
No.
It was just that and the
Just
meat.
meat,
and,
yeah.
And his own handmade
So
bread
not like
and
the
stuff.
French croissants and
Do you know
Italian
what?
pizza?
I think it maybe if it was longer, but because the way it used to make me feel, and I didn't know that until I stopped, I have not missed croissants. We used to have one almost
Yeah.
3 times a week at the
we
cafe,
did.
didn't we, and stuff. So yeah, it's almost like, oh, glad I don't have that anymore, because the way it made me feel.
So
And I didn't know.
it's the Greek tzatziki.
Yeah, I think
and
it's
bread.
I see the kids just tucking into it, and and you are trying to follow suit with me, which I feel sorry for you, because I know you just love.
Well,
bread
I
and stuff
gave
like
in.
that.
I could not have.
I know.
I couldn't have a souvlaki, so I tried. I've had one of those, and there's no way I could not miss out on having Greek deep fried calamari. Oh my
that's
God.
just the best, isn't it?
It's just delicious.
It is so good.
By the way, a big plateful of Greek calamari, which is the little tiny squid where
the
it's
baby squid.
the baby
isn't it?
squid.
Yeah, they don't do big squid around here, do they?
No, and they fry it in, like Bryce said, flour, and it's just crispy and hot, and you squeeze lemon on it and salt, and oh my God, my mouth is watering. And a plate of that is €10. I've never really seen it, maybe 11 in some posh restaurants, but I've never seen it for less than that, and I've never seen it for more. So €10, £8.50, big plate of calamari.
Yeah, it's a good sized plate. It's enough for 2 people, easy. Isn't it?
Yeah, well, I wouldn't go that far, but
Well,
yeah,
no,
it's
not
enough
when
for
you're at the
enough
table.
for a hungry young woman.
Yeah.
It's enough to wash the litre of wine down.
Swill it down with a bit of that.
Brian, never mind, it's enough for 2. What? Don't turn into one of those people.
Well, Finn bought one last night, and everyone was tucking into it.
I know, but I don't like it when you're like, oh, that's enough for 2. No, it's not. You just get one and, just eat it all. That's right. Yes. That's the rule. Right, so a posh restaurant. So that's your budget restaurant. Are you enjoying this? I'm enjoying sharing this. Are you, Brian?
Yeah, well, it is. It's just like, it's
I love
just
knowing
good
about-
to know what's happening in
Yeah.
Europe at the moment.
Yeah, and I don't want you to think, like I say, you're going to put off visiting
There's
the
a lot
Greek
of
islands.
there's a lot of doom and gloom out there, isn't there? When you talk to people back in the UK, and it's after Brexit, things are so expensive, and it's like, yeah, try living in New Zealand.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Well, I spoke to my brother yesterday. This is what this inspired this podcast. So he probably doesn't listen, but if you are listening, you are inspired this podcast, Jamie. But it's like I spoke to him, and he was saying, how much is all this? How much? Because we want to come to Greece next year. They've got a family of 6, and they're trying to obviously price it up and see how much things are. And that's the first thing I said, Bri, was like, coming from New Zealand, it's flipping. God, you talk about expensive.
Yeah.
Go and live in New Zealand.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, just to give you an idea of price of fuel here on the islands, it's around about $11 a gallon. Just to give you an idea.
I don't know what gallon is. What do you mean?
That's a
Well, how
US.
much-
That's a US gallon, which is not as big as a UK gallon.
Right.
Why did they ever change that? They work on imperial systems. Why don't you just stay with the imperial system instead
Yeah.
of making your own gallon?
I blame Murphy.
Yeah.
So is petrol cheaper than New Zealand or more expensive?
It's more expensive here than New Zealand.
Is it?
Yeah, and New Zealand is quite expensive, really.
Well, all
isn't
the
it? It's like,
that's
you
all
know.
I keep getting is messages from back home
Yeah,
saying, guess how much
$3
petrol
a
is.
litre or something back in New Zealand, but here it's €3 a
The thing
litre.
is, Brian, I'm sitting on the beach in the Greek island. I don't care how much
No,
petrol
you
is in
don't
New
use the
Zealand.
car that much, do you?
No,
Yeah, but when you're here, even
why'd you do that to people? Why'd you phone them up and go, you'll never guess what?
Yeah.
Petrol's gone up. It's like, I don't
It's
care.
like, who cares? Yeah.
exactly.
I'm not living there at the moment.
It's funny, isn't it? How you
It's
do
true,
that?
isn't it? Yeah,
It's so
yeah.
true.
Yeah, but the thing is, if petrol goes up, everything goes up because
Mm.
cost of delivery goes up. So that's why I suppose they say it.
Yeah. I
It's
suppose
not.
so.
It's a knock-on effect, isn't it?
Anyway, Bryce, shush, because you're getting me waylaid. So this really posh dinner that we went out for, I'm saying it was a posh dinner. It wasn't.
It wasn't.
It seemed
It's
posh
just a
because
good
it was
Greek restaurant.
it was a table on a beach, on the sand on the beach, literally waves lapping at our feet.
Well, put it this way: the ferry went past, and about 15 minutes later, the waves started coming in, didn't they? 'Cause
Yeah,
it
we
was
had to lift
right
our
out
feet
on the
up 'cause it
horizon.
went.
Yeah, and it was just like
So that's how
the
close
water
we
went
are
under
to
the table.
Yeah, that's how close we were to the beach. It had a little tea light in a lantern on it, and all you could see down the beach was these little tea lights and people sitting there. So you can picture it, can't you? The moon coming up. It was just, you would imagine if you saw that on Instagram or something, you'd imagine you're going to be paying $200 for a night out. So let me just tell you. So we went there,
When it
and
cost 300.
pardon? Yeah. Had to remortgage our bloody house. We went there. This is what we had. We had the calamari that I just told you about. We had some grilled octopus on
Yep.
the barbecue. We had tzatziki, which is the yogurt dip. We had a big green salad, which had capers and onions and just lots of green salad,
Yeah,
obviously.
I had a chopping board of grilled sardines.
Yes.
Which
we
there
had-
was plenty of other good sized sardines as well.
lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They weren't tiny ones. And
All
there must have been
barbecued.
about 9 or 10 of them, I suppose.
Yeah. Oh, and they were just served on this long chopping board, came with lemon and, like I say, just covered in salt and barbecue, crispy skin, and just
Fantastic.
they were fantastic.
They were.
We also had a potato dish, which was
was
like
like
a gratin, wasn't it, Brian?
Yeah, it was. It was. Yeah, it was. It was like you're in the Swiss Alps all of a sudden, because it was just cream, ham, cheese, and
Yeah.
potatoes, and it was just baked, and it looked like a creme brulee.
Take
didn't
your
it?
hand away from your mouth, Brian. Because I can just see
Yeah.
that this is going to be muffled. Take your hand out
How
of your
can that
mouth.
be muffled?
Why are you sitting there with your hand? Why are you sitting there
'Cause-
with your thumb in your mouth?
Yeah, I'm
Take your thumb out, Brian. You're okay, Brian. You're
Thank
safe.
God this is not a video podcast. I was trying to relax, Liz.
Shall I pass you your pillow?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so we had all that, didn't we, Bri? And then we had a litre of wine. I'm covering up the price. Yeah, I know, because I can see you trying to look so
Litre
you
of
sound
wine.
intelligent. Right, okay.
Well, I paid for it.
I know you did, but I bet
Yeah.
you... So, all that, and a litre of wine,
Yeah.
and sitting on the beach
We
with
never
the
have
sea lapping.
dessert, really, do we?
No, we're not dessert
Sometimes
people.
they bring you a free dessert. Well, it's
Yeah.
like last night we had yogurt with caramelized sort of onion. Onion. No, it's nice, isn't it? Yogurt and onion. No, even though tzatziki is yogurt and garlic. Orange, wasn't
Oh,
it?
it's lovely,
It
wasn't it?
was really good, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was so nice.
But that was free, so you can't count that.
Yeah, they do bring you little gifts.
We do not tend to ever have pudding, so that's why you'll never hear us talk about it. We're not really sweet tooth people, are we?
No.
We save our calories for our wine.
Yeah, the wine, it's all in the wine. Always remember that.
It's a long night.
Yeah, you don't want too much sugar when you can have all that wine
No,
instead.
exactly. So go on then, Bri. All that food, how much was it per person, this price? It was, wasn't it? How much per person?
Yeah, it's about 23 euros a
Oh,
person.
you little sneak, Brian.
Yeah, I knew how much it was because I had to pay for it. That's why.
Right, so can you believe that? Per person,
Yeah.
23 euros. £20,
There was
that
stacks
is.
of food, wasn't there?
There was far too much food.
Yeah.
We didn't eat it all.
We ate most of it, Liz.
Well, most of it, but
Yeah,
there was
all
that
the-
little
all the
bit.
calamari
There
went.
was that little bit of ham left out the potato dish. We fed that to the cat on
Yeah.
the beach.
Yeah.
23 euros, Bri.
I did. I gave two.
46
almost-
euros for the couple.
Yeah.
£40 for a couple.
Yeah.
80 New Zealand dollars.
Yeah.
I have to keep saying this because
Sitting
it's
on
like
the beach watching the moon come up. It was amazing. They actually started playing Zorba the Greek, which was a bit weird. And it felt a little bit touristy
well, you didn't.
for
You
a
didn't.
second.
You didn't think it was weird when you were up there dancing with your knees,
Yeah, and
jollying your knees up and down.
There's quite a few birthdays that night, wasn't there?
So I just got this picture of you, and anyway, so that's a bit weird. Yeah. So there you go. So that gives you an idea. You've got both ends of the spectrum there, haven't
Yeah.
you, Brian?
And they had proper toilets as well, not like in Ghent.
Yeah. So there's your wine. There's your dinner. What about breakfast? I'll skim over this quick because I feel as if I'm no,
right.
mind you, no, I'm not going to
It's
because
a podcast, isn't it? If you're driving, you'd be thinking,
I'm not
don't
going
go
to
yet.
because I like talking about my food.
Yeah.
So this is the best podcast I've ever done in my life. Right. The other day, it was Tessa's birthday. I've already told you that. Last week, it was Tessa's 18th. And I messed up on the dinner, the Italian. But I
Yeah.
didn't mess up on the breakfast, I don't think. We thought...
Oh, no, the breakfast was good,
It was
wasn't
lovely,
it?
wasn't it?
Yeah, it really, really was.
We
Yeah.
took her down to...
Well, luckily, we'd sussed it out because we had a glass of wine there the night before.
We'd been there the night before and we
Yeah.
knew it was a nice, perfect location. It's
Yeah.
right on the harbour. Again, literally, you can reach over, put your hand in and swish your fingers around in the clear, clear water. All the little fishing boats bobbing by. Just lovely. Big, comfy seats and
Umbrellas
lovely,
and
handsome
everything.
waiters. And they did breakfast. And so we took her down there. And she had like all pancakes and maple syrup. But I had toast with eggs, bacon, avocado, sprinkled with feta, lemon and drizzled with oil.
Smoked salmon as well, wasn't it?
No, I had the bacon option. You could have smoked salmon or
Oh,
bacon.
right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Or I might have had the smoke. Yeah, whichever it was I had. You could have both. What did you have?
I had the same.
You had the same? But you didn't have the bread off. Oh, no, because it was gluten-free bread.
Yeah, they had a gluten-free
Yeah, that's why.
toast.
That's the other thing we went there as well because it was like, oh, they had a gluten-free bread, so that was good. So that lovely breakfast, right? And it comes all posh and, you know, a little bit of cress on top and all the rest of it. And we had that and a cappuccino. How much do you think per person, Brian? Don't know, do you? Come on, clever clogs, how much? Yeah, you don't know.
It's about 18 euros a person.
What's going on with you today?
Because I
What have you
paid for
done?
it, that's why.
No, you'd never got a memory like this.
Well,
How do you know that?
because
Right, so 18 euros a person, which, to be honest, Bri, did you think it was worth it?
it was because it was Tessa's birthday morning.
No, pretend it
and-
wasn't Tessa's birthday. Pretend we'd just gone down there.
Well, how much is that in New Zealand dollars?
No,
Because
it's £15 a person, so 30 New Zealand dollars.
Yeah, but look at where you
30
were.
New Zealand dollars,
I
Bri.
know.
For that?
Each person.
Each?
Yeah, but
No, not worth it.
no.
Not
'cause
worth it. I don't care if you
Oh,
can
no,
reach
it
down
was.
and touch the fish in water.
Yeah, but the thing is, you didn't have to have that. You could have just had toast and jam.
Well, you don't go to a restaurant like that and have toast and
Why
jam, do
not?
you, Bri?
Well, you could.
Well, you just don't.
I know, but you
So
could.
tell me the truth. Do you think it's worth it? And stop trying to be like positive.
Because of Tessa's birthday,
No,
yes.
forget the birthday. Just pretend.
I'm not changing my memory now.
Just pretend we've just strolling down and we say, oh, let's go here and have some avocado and bacon and cress on toast. And then the bill comes. Oh, let's have a cappuccino. And then the bill comes and it's 18 euros per person, 36 euros.
Yeah, I would have been quite happy if I'd just been sitting there on my own watching
No, but wasn't
with the Anson waiter.
right. Yeah, it was. I don't think. So I'm going to say
yes
I
and
don't.
no.
I think that.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It was quite
Don't
fancy,
be
wasn't it?
wishy-washy. Don't say yes and
I
no.
know, but I'm just trying to think how much that would have cost in the UK or in New Zealand.
Well, put it this way: New Zealand, there's no way you'd pay $30 per person for breakfast. No,
probably
you wouldn't,
would,
Brian. I go out
because
for
we-
breakfast all the time.
Yeah, but don't forget, we had 2 coffees, I think.
No, I'm talking one. It was one
was one
coffee
coffee,
and
was it?
one breakfast. And in New Zealand, you would pay max $20 for that, and this was $30.
Yeah.
So that $10 makes a lot of difference. So anyway, if you're going to go out and be posh and be served by handsome waiters who, you know, give you the eye, and I mean, it was a nice experience
It was a
because they
lovely
were like to
experience.
Tessa, oh, your birthday girl, and
Yeah.
you know, even though they don't speak like that, but I can't really do a Greek accent, but it is your birthday. Happy birthday, birthday girl. They sort of say it in a matter of fact way. I love their accent.
Yeah, it's nice.
Love the Greek people, but yeah. So
Yeah.
the budget breakfast. Now listen to this. This is much better.
Nip down the bakery, and
Go
it was a
round the
posh
corner.
bakery, wasn't it? Though.
Yes, yesterday we're just getting Brian. Well, I'm not going to say we because I don't make the breakfast, but
Don't-
Brian
don't
had
worry.
a bit. Brian had a bit of a tantrum yesterday.
I didn't have a
Yes, you
tantrum.
did.
What?
You
Yeah.
said that's it. I'm not cooking breakfast anymore.
No.
We're going out.
Yeah, but it's like you end up spending 2 hours of your day cooking breakfast for everybody.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's not on. Nobody does it for me.
No, I know they don't, but you are the breakfast. Be
No.
nice,
No.
Brian.
Well, no.
Don't be like that. It doesn't suit you. Stop it.
Yeah. No.
Stop it.
But the thing is, Liz will say things
Put your
like,
finger down.
I tell you what, in
Stop
the morning,
pointing.
we'll just go and have a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Well, me and you will head out for a cup of coffee. And then by 12 o'clock, Liz is still doing things. And I'm like, are we going to go for that coffee? Well, we need to eat breakfast. Well, it was just supposed to be a coffee. Well, I haven't had my breakfast yet.
No.
That was your exact words.
I know, but the thing is, what it is we've got 2 rooms. So there's 5 of us travelling here on the Greek island. So me and Bri are upstairs in one room, which is where we're recording this podcast.
Yeah.
And downstairs, Sunny, Tessa and Finlay, Finlay is Tessa's boyfriend, they're downstairs in the apartment. They've got 2 bedrooms and they've got like a tiny little kitchen, which has got 2 hot plates on it and a big fridge.
It's pretty hopeless, isn't it?
It is really. But we're trying to be positive and we're trying to save money by cooking breakfast down
Put
there.
it this way, you can make yourself a boiled egg and something like that, but there's not even a toaster. There's only a toasting, like a sandwich toasty machine. There's no like pop-up toaster or anything, is there?
Yeah, no. I must admit, it's not what I would call an
Not
apartment.
called self-catering.
No.
But we're not saying it anyway.
No,
It's
we're
not
not.
the most expensive place, is it?
No. But like I say, Brian usually goes down there every morning. Kids are laying in their little pits on their phones,
Yeah. and
waiting to be called for breakfast.
But
Brian, little Mother Hubbard down there with his toasting machine trying to make everyone toasted sandwiches and coffee. And it's lovely.
Can you
It's
imagine
lovely, Brian. I look forward to it every morning.
Three teenagery type people, even though like Finn's 22, and everything's just a mess from the night before. Glasses, tin cans, everything's just all over the place. You have to go in and tidy up.
How does it feel for you?
Oh God, well, there's no bleach.
Tell me the exact feeling it feels for you when you walk down the steps of our little room out here, go out the door, close the door, walk down, say good morning to the owner of the house. Good morning, Athena. And you walk round to the apartment and you open the door of the apartment knowing that you're going to make breakfast for us 5 and you see that mess. What does it make you feel like?
I just think, do you know what? I'd rather go for a coffee. Yeah, I'd rather just nip down to the 30 euro place, 18 euro place, and go and have a drink and smoke salmon by myself. And think, stuff this.
Oh, but we love it though, Bri. I
I
want you
do.
to know. I'm going to say
we had a great
publicly,
conversation
Brian.
with the kids today, and
Yeah,
that was great.
exactly.
I know that, but I think it's your turn tomorrow to go down there and see the pit first thing. Why have you gone quiet?
Because you're just disappointing me, Brian. Because yeah, you are. Because I love that you make our breakfast in the morning. It's a really special time for
It's
us and the
special
family,
for you.
for us and the
Yeah.
children.
Yeah,
Me and the children.
I actually have to call Liz on the phone to say, come down now. And then it's like,
But this
and it's
morning,
still
Brian
another 5
made
minutes
us.
before you get down.
Yeah, but this morning you made us a beautiful ham and cheese toasted sandwich. And, and we have it with coffee. And the great thing was this morning is we all sat out and we had this brilliant, really inspiring conversation, actually. Do you know what? When I was talking to Tess, I was thinking, I'm going to get you to do me a podcast.
Yeah, you
I
should
don't,
just-
I
yeah,
don't
you've
want to
got
go
to
off on a
actually.
tangent.
Feels like she does.
Yeah, I don't want to go off on a tangent. And you've met Tessa lots of times before on the podcast, but she was talking this morning about how she feels, she feels sad in the job that she's in. She's working in hospitality, and she just wants to quit and follow her dream, basically follow her
Jump
heart
off the
to
hamster wheel.
inspire. Jump off the hamster wheel and entertain. She is the most amazing. She's very, very humble, but she's the most amazing singer. And she'd never tell you that.
No, she wouldn't, would she?
And the most
that's
amazing.
just not mum and dad saying
no,
it.
I
It's
don't
like,
think so.
My God. Yeah.
And we were just saying to her, listen, you just follow your heart. You need to work. Obviously, you need money, but you can work doing something that you love. Don't waste your life working, doing something that makes you miserable. And I'll give her a due. She's not like just a typical 18-year-old who's having a Mardy. She's stuck that job for 18 months now, hasn't she, Bri?
Yeah.
And anyway, all that to say, we had that conversation because of you cooking our breakfast down in that room.
Yeah,
So
still not doing it for me.
So that's what we normally do. But yesterday we had Brian said, "Oh, I don't want to cook breakfast. Let's just go out." So we went round the corner, and there's a lovely little bakery around there. Don't be thinking bakery as in you walk in and it's just got a load of bread and it's just a bit rustic. Think walking into an air-conditioned, smoked glass room,
White marble floor, going up to it,
with all these delicious pastries and chocolates.
handmade ice cream,
Yeah,
it is amazing.
It's unbelievable. It's just
handmade nugget or nougat, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah,
and it's just like, it's amazing, isn't
It
it?
is.
And a good section of bread and stuff.
and a big barista coffee machine. Is that what it's called? Barista machine.
yeah, a
big
real
coffee
good
machine.
espresso machine.
Espresso machine. That's right. At the back, and chairs and tables outside. So we're like, okay, we'll go down there and we'll get a coffee, and we'll sit outside. So this is us doing budget. We got 2 cappuccinos, and I was so hungry I couldn't not eat. I got a chicken and pepper pie. It was like
When you say pepper, you mean like capsicum?
red pepper.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Pie. It was like a phyllo pastry pie.
It was
And
huge as well, wasn't it?
It was huge, yeah.
Yeah.
I managed to finish it,
Yeah,
but it
and
was
you
huge.
had half a litre of wine as well. With that. So it was midday.
And the coffee was €2 and the pie was €2.50.
Yeah.
So
And what did I have?
you had coffee.
I had coffee, and I had some gluten-free crackers
but
with some marmalade wrapped up in my pocket.
I hope you're not. Why are you doing that face? I hope you're not trying to make me feel sorry for you, because to be honest, Bri, you've miffed me a little bit now, saying all that about the breakfast.
Yeah.
But anyway, so you can have a €4.50 breakfast.
Yep.
So let's say €5 tops.
Yeah, max. Yeah.
Per person. So €5.
Yeah, because the coffee is only €2 at this super bakery.
Yeah.
Because all the Greeks go there. That's
And I'll
why.
tell you what, the coffee is
It's really
delicious.
good, wasn't it? It's a big cappuccino. It's
Yeah.
not like a little tiny one. It's in a you get it in a takeaway cup. And I always keep saying to her, I don't need the lids, and they just put the lids on.
Do
and
they?
You just think, save the lids. We don't need a lid because as soon as I get to the table, I take it off.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I hate drinking through those lids.
I know.
It's all right
so
if you're
do I.
driving in it or
Yeah.
commuting and walking along.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So that's that. That's the food then, okay? So you've got all that
Yep.
sorted.
So it's not that expensive.
No,
really.
it's
Well, I
not.
don't think it is anyway. And that's going through Belgium, France, and Italy and Greece. Like I was saying, 20 years ago, it went super expensive because inflation went through the roof with the European Union, didn't it? And it seems to have just come back down a little bit.
I just want to say as well, and I think this is quite important to mention this. I don't want to have this to sound the wrong way, but when we came back 20 years ago on holiday, there was a bit of an attitude, wasn't there, Bri, towards
big
tourists?
attitude. Yeah,
And I didn't particularly enjoy it. I thought, what's
No.
going on here?
It was like they wanted to get rid
Yeah.
of the European tourist.
Yeah.
Almost,
We were living in England. We came over on holiday and we said, we're not going back again. That's
Yeah.
it.
And it's a shame because that's what built the island.
Yeah.
All those backpackers and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So we drive past the campsite now, there's no one in the campsite.
No, well, that's
I
because
know
they've
it's still,
changed
I
their
know it's still
clientele,
kind of
haven't
early,
they?
but yeah, I know it does. And now, sir, when you see the super yachts in the bay now, and they are super yachts, they come up, they park up for about a day, go around with the jet skis and everything like that, and then they're gone by 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning, aren't they? To the
Do you remember that
next
time,
destination.
Bri? Do you remember that time? Tell the story of when get this, right? Me and Bri came over backpacking in one summer. I was about, I don't know, 20, 19, 20, 22. I don't know how old
Which
I
one
was.
was it? Yeah.
Oh, you just wait and see.
Okay. I'm waiting.
And we came over.
€18.
Murphy. We came over and we came over to work actually. Our intention was to come over and work. This is where my daughter gets it from. And we got here and I just thought, I don't want to work. I don't want to go and work as a waitress in that bar. I just want the summer off. And I think we've told you this story before. We phoned up my lovely father-in-law and we said, will you lend us £1,000 and we'll pay you back once we have got it. And he gave us the £1,000 and we had the summer off in Greece on this island, right? So we were here living in a tent under a tree, very, 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 very budget. And we were sitting on this beach once, there we were sitting on this beach. And we looked out and there was this water skier on this very nice boat. Now, Brian loves to water ski. He's a very good water skier. And I could see him looking longingly at this boat and this water skier. And he said, that'd be good, wouldn't it? Just water skiing around. And I said, why don't you just have a wander over and ask them if you can have a little go? And he's like, no, I'm not going to do that. And I said, no, Brian, go on. Wait till they come back and then wander over and just say to them, please, can I have a little water ski on your boat? So Brian will take over from the story now. What happened when you walked over to the people, Brian?
Well, they were on the beach. They're sort of moored the boat up on the beach. It was a little bit rough out there, but it was just like, oh, it's so nice just to have a little blast. Go back to the days of when we used to work on the Taverna, which was just around the corner, and we used to water ski to work. We only did that about 3 or 4 times, but we actually did it, didn't we? And they said, oh yeah, in about 20 minutes we're going back out because they could speak English. They were Greek.
Were they English?
No, they were Greek.
Oh, yeah.
And obviously because they had a boat.
Oh, of course, yeah.
It wouldn't be like it wasn't a big boat. It's not much bigger than the boat I've got now. It was a little.
What,
bit
the one
bigger.
that's been sat in the driveway
Yeah,
for 3
the
years?
sat for 2 years
Full of cobwebs.
we haven't got a vehicle to.
Come on,
tow it
tell me
with.
what they said.
Anyway,
Tell me
they
how
said
did you
yes.
say it? How
I
did
just
you
said
say
any
it?
chance I could come out for a ski with you, or and they said yes. And they took me out, but it was getting windier and windier, and it was getting choppier and choppier. And so there I am. I'm like, I just need one ski to start. But the boat was quite big and quite underpowered. And so when he was trying to pull me up with one ski, it was just like this funnel of water going all over me. I couldn't breathe when I was coming out because it's like, freaking put your foot down, mate. And I kept letting go. So they then gave me 2 skis, and it was just like, yeah.
Did you feel a little bit like a...
Yeah, just like a scab, basically.
Yeah.
It was just like, oh, come on. If someone asked me, can you give me a ski on the boat, I'd be like, you sure? Because I know what it's like to want to ski.
So to be clear, they said yes, we will take you out.
Yes, but
and then
they
you
couldn't
went
get me
out.
up on one ski.
Is that
the boat
because you
wasn't
can't?
powerful
You're not a
enough.
good enough skier, would you think?
No, it wasn't that. The boat wasn't powerful enough to pull me out on one ski. You need a powerful boat just to pop you out the water. But it couldn't. I was dragging it too much on one ski. And two skis, you just pop out the water easy.
Was there any time then thereby that you thought, oh,
Yeah, but then you just feel stupid because it's just like,
I'm not a good enough skier?
yeah.
to
And I
ski
didn't
behind?
want to. I didn't want to go on two skis. I just wanted to mono ski because that's
Well,
the
it's
best.
cool, isn't it? Yeah.
Well, no, it's just that you can just move yourself around, but the boat wasn't powerful enough.
How
to
did
get
you
me
leave
out.
it? When did they just say to you, "Oh, forget
I
this,
just
mate"?
said, stuff it, mate. I'll swim in.
No, you didn't. You
No,
didn't
I
swim
didn't.
in.
No. You made me wash the boat down afterwards.
Oh, that was. I just remember that when you just
I
like
know.
looking over.
I used to love water skiing. I still do love water skiing. You know, it's one of the best things you can ever do. You know, I always remember seeing this guy when, I was probably about 21 at the time. I was water skiing with my friends on the River Fell in Cornwall. And this old guy, he just...
How old was he?
Do you know how old he was? He
How
was
old?
87 years old.
Oh, wow. Okay, I thought you were going to say 50.
And he was skiing.
Was he?
He was just under the most graceful skier. He must have
Oh.
been a world-class skier at something and I was just thinking, oh my God, I want to be able to do that. Because I remember asking how old he was, because he was old, but he's just so graceful. And he was mono skiing.
Was he?
And it was just this graceful carve, and it was a little boat he was on, and the family, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Right, so let's talk about our
Sorry,
accommodation.
it wasn't 88, he was 78, not 87. Let's get the right there.
Oh, 78 's not
70.
old. What are you on about?
It's old.
Stay with
Water
87,
skiing.
it sounded better, the
78,
story.
87, yeah, but he wasn't that old. But I remember saying, how old are you? Because he looked old, to me.
78 is not that old anymore, Brian. No,
but
it's not.
still, yeah.
Yeah, but it's not, is it?
No, it's not. But still, it's to be fit enough to do that at that age. It's a lot of force pulling you out the water.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
Oh, yeah, it hurts your arms when you get
Yeah.
yanked out of the water on a water ski,
Not just
doesn't
your
it?
legs alone, But, yeah, so good to
Right,
see.
so the place that we're staying, so we've described it to you now. So we've got two apartments, one apartment that isn't an apartment that's driving Brian mad making breakfast. And this room that we're in, which is beautiful, is air conditioned, it's got a double bed, two bedside tables, a fridge, a shower, toilet, sink.
Yep.
What else can we say about it? Wardrobe, and just a balcony. And on the balcony, you can see the sea on one side, and on the other side, you can see the buildings of Paros. And at night, it twinkles and sparkles like you wouldn't
And
believe.
it's super quiet up here on the hill,
It's
isn't it?
really quiet. It's about a 5-minute walk to the village of Nausa, which is where all those restaurants are we just told you. You can get a boat over to the beach just down the road. You can drive, you can walk to the cheap bakery, you can drive to the other beaches.
Yeah.
So it's a great location.
And a good sized supermarket as well for
Yeah.
the size of the island. Yeah.
We're here from the what date did we get here?
We got here on the 8th, I think it was.
8th of June. So just to give you an idea, so 8th of June, and we leave on the at the end of June. So 20 nights accommodation we've got for 5 people. Hang on, whereabouts is it? So do you know how much it is a night, Bri, to stay here?
Well, last time I checked, I think it was about $50 New Zealand dollars a person, isn't it?
No, it isn't.
It
It's not that cheap, no. It is. It's 28 euros a night per person.
Yeah.
So it's 60 euros, say 60 euros a couple, which is 100 New Zealand dollars, which is £50 a couple.
Yeah, a couple, yeah. In
So-
the Greek islands.
In the Greek islands,
Right.
in a room, in a fantastic location,
Yeah.
plenty of space, enough space to do a podcast.
Yeah. Bags of solar hot water as well.
Yep,
So
very
great.
clean. The lady is lovely who owns it.
Yeah.
It's called Athena Blue Studios. I'll put a link to it in the description. And yeah, she comes in and cleans and changes sheets every 2 days. Oh, do you know what she said to me the other day, Bri? I was going out and she said to me, "The apartment where your children are." And I thought, oh no, I can never clean.
Yeah. Well, the thing is Sonny.
Oh, it's embarrassing.
Sonny is he's becoming this TikTok star at the moment, isn't he? He's got
He's becoming
he's got
he's
3/4
making
of
his-
a million followers on there.
Yeah,
hasn't he?
he's working hard on that.
And he
yeah.
does these live streams, and he gets up to 70,000 people come through on his live stream. and that's what he's doing.
Yeah.
Because he hasn't got any money at the moment, and he's desperately trying to make money.
Yeah, it's
New
good on him,
Zealand
yeah.
TikTok doesn't monetize for people in New Zealand,
Yeah.
which is so out of order. TikTok.
But in saying that, he's turned his room downstairs into this cave,
Streaming
man
place.
cavey, streaming,
Yes,
smelly
place.
room. He closes the curtains. I don't think he's ever opened those curtains.
No, I don't think
And
he
it's got
has.
2 single beds in there, and he's moved the dining table from outside. He's moved it into his room so he can set up all his computer and his big mat thing that he game.
Yeah, he does these
you know?
nighttime streams for people. That it's a chill stream, isn't it?
Yeah,
Like,
it's amazing what he's
and it's a
doing.
real safe place for young kids on TikTok and stuff. Like it's amazing what he's doing. He's making a safe place for young kids.
Yes, as much as I joke, that boy, he makes my heart swell with pride.
Works so hard.
He does, and he's doing brilliantly. But still, he should get out and clean that room every once in a while. So that was a bit embarrassing. So she said, "Oh, when can I clean? Every day I go in and someone's there and I can't clean." And so I said to the kids, "Right, out! Come on, you're all out. Get out to the beach." And let her.
So she could go on with the bleach.
Can you imagine going in there though?
I know.
Brian?
But
You'd
like
just
this
think, "Well,
morning,
yeah, I'll forget
because
this."
she couldn't get in yesterday. She just left a blue bag with clean, fresh towels in it.
Yeah, she's so lovely.
Yeah,
she's
and just
so
like left it on the
lovely.
table outside, didn't she?
Yeah.
Just like,
Yeah. So that's how much we're paying for accommodation. So don't come in the room that we've been in and that our children that our sons
don't
been
go
in.
in that apartment on the ground floor.
No, don't go in the apartment in the ground floor because it might be a bit smelly. Right, last thing. What are we doing for time? 55 minutes. Let's keep it under an hour then, shall we? The last thing that Bri wanted to talk to you about was the mobile plan. Is it?
Mobile data. Yeah, we get absolutely, for want of a better word, screwed in New Zealand for data. It's not cheap. It really, really isn't. Like, you to get unlimited data, you'd be looking at upwards of $65
A month.
New Zealand, at least a
Really?
month. Yeah, whether that was how much your plan would be or something like that. I think it's even more. It's probably more like 80 for unlimited data at full speed. Because they do unlimited data, and then after 25 gigs, they drop you back to 3G speeds, which is not the worst thing in the world, but it's here in Greece, and you're on a Greek island in the middle of the Aegean Sea, 3 hours from Athens and stuff like that. You can go in and with Cosmote, and you can do it with Vodafone as well here, and Vodafone in New Zealand. So come on, Vodafone. You're a big company. You can give people things back. It costs you €9 for a month of unlimited 5G data. And you have 5G here on the islands. And you're getting download speeds of 200 megabits a second on your mobile. So that's how Sonny can do his live streams. And for €9.
€9.
I mean, there's
That's
no
amazing,
calls
isn't
on
it?
that because you don't need calls nowadays because everyone just, WhatsApps, Messenger, and FaceTimes.
I don't really get that. What do you mean?
It just uses data because the call was like.
So for €9, can I call home? Can I call back my mum?
If you if you're going to use Messenger or.
And it's free if I do
FaceTime.
that, is it?
Well, it's included in the plan, because it's you're using your data.
Brilliant, isn't it?
It's just unreal, isn't
Do you
it?
remember how much it used to cost to phone her
Remember
when you?
that clicking thing?
Yeah,
that
you
used to
put
have to
all the
tick,
drachmas in, and it'd just be like 100
should
drachmas
clunk,
for 1 second.
clunk, and they were like 10 drachmas at every clunk, and it was like every second. You just used to hear it, and the little man in the campsite were rubbing his hands, thinking, "Look how much money I'm making out of you, you silly sod."
Yeah. Did we just say before about, because I know we started saying about how when we came back 20 years ago, we had there was a feeling of, like they didn't like tourists. Did we go on to say that is completely eliminated now? Did we say that?
No,
I
we
don't think we
didn't.
did,
No,
did we?
I think it really, because that's when they'd just gone into the EU, and it was almost like, we don't want you here. We want the Greek people here.
Yeah, yes. And I don't
And it
think
was
we
just
finished
like,
saying.
oh,
I've just
okay.
thought then, I don't remember saying to you, but so when we came back, I was thinking, is it going to be that feeling of like we're not really wanted? It couldn't be more different.
No, it is.
I think it's because there's a different generation.
I think it is. I think it is, Liz, because they're realizing that, oh my God, tourism is huge for this country.
Yeah.
It really, really is. But this is the first time we've stayed properly in Athens. And I met some lovely people in Athens.
Yeah.
I needed to get the wheels balanced on the car because, you're doing 130k on the autostradas. Even the Greek road from Patras to Athens was one of the nicest roads I've ever driven on in the world.
Really?
Yeah, and it was all funded by
Better
the
than
EU.
America?
Oh yeah, loads better.
Is it?
That was an amazing road.
Where's
Remember
Where's the best road you've ever driven on in the world?
as in just the smoothest,
Yeah.
biggest, like most modern, well
Yeah.
signposted road. That section of road is amazing. It's all like
In
elevated
Athens?
and stuff. Yeah, going from Patras to Athens. Where we stopped for.
Good on you, Greece.
Where we stopped for that.
Yeah,
Little,
I know what you mean. Yeah,
that
where we
little
stayed for-
Subalaki on the way over.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was just like, oh my god, I can't believe this, because what it used to be like. I remember driving from Megamanitsa to Patras, then on to Athens last time, and it was just like, oh my god, and you just drive along, and then it would just literally be a barrier across the road, and you had to turn around and go back up the road and get back off the road because you had to go around the mountains. So obviously, but I'm just saying. So when you were doing 130 mile, the car was shaking, wasn't it? Like, and this, I took it to this little garage in Athens, and he just came up to me and said, "Oh, yes, we will do this for you. We will fix it." And he came up to me because he took normally when you just get your wheels balanced, they just literally stick a weight on it, spin it round on the machine, and he took the tire off and he was moving the tire around to get it in a better location because he didn't want to put all these super big weights on. Like, he said, look, it's out. And he said, has the car been standing? I said, yeah, it's been in storage. He said, we will fix it.
Aww.
And he just, and he got everything down to zero on every wheel, like, and it was just like, and it took him an hour and it was €20. But he was so helpful, like, where are you from?
Yeah.
It was really nice, like,
Yeah.
and just that guy in the Subalaki place, how many free gifts did he give
I know.
us?
Well, that's what I just want to say is
was
do
just-
not be thinking like I was thinking when I was in New Zealand. Oh, I don't know about Greece. Are we just going to get there and it's going to be
Get
really
ripped off
expensive,
again.
ripped off,
Yeah.
just hostile. No, I don't want to say hostile. It wasn't hostile. It was just, like I say, 20 years ago, I got the feeling that we weren't really welcome. And I don't like saying that, but it's
I
true.
think last time, because we came over because it was cheaper to come on a package tour.
Yeah, what? They
And
wouldn't have known that
it
then,
wasn't like
Brian.
that, was it? But it was
No,
just,
they
we
wouldn't have
stayed
known
in a
that.
hotel. They wouldn't have known that
No.
because
The difference.
It was just the difference, wasn't it?
The
Yeah.
difference, and the difference now, like I say, if you're thinking of coming over, I can't say enough
But then it's
about
not-
how
it's not
nice the
super
Greek.
high
I don't
season.
care though, Brian.
No.
I don't care.
No.
You can't say enough about how nice the Greek people have been to us.
I totally agree with that because
How
of,
welcoming.
yeah. The
you
last
know?
time we were here, I thought, stuff you. I'm not. We never came back.
Well, couldn't go in New Zealand.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't think we're coming back? We'll go to New Zealand instead. But no, I just want you to know that hopefully that has given you an idea of the cost, of the easiness of it. I mean, we drove to Athens, we got the ferry from Athens to Paros. Everything was just so easy, wasn't
Yeah,
it,
it
Bri?
was. And
Apart from the
yeah.
breakfast. That's all the only thing that's been a bloody hassle on this holiday is those ham and cheese toasties that Bri doesn't like cooking.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm not going to go into that. I might video it for you, and then you might understand it.
But apart from that, it's been divine. I was driving home last night. We went out for a meal and we were all in the car, me and the kids and Bri driving, and we're playing music. The windows was down, the warm air, like a hairdryer, just like a lukewarm hairdryer being blown on you. And I just thought life can't get better than this.
No,
I
it
really
doesn't.
did. I just thought
It's
this
those memories,
is
isn't it?
perfect.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah, I could smell the sea. We'd just been out for a gorgeous meal, and we were all just listening to our music. It was just, it was flipping gorgeous. And isn't that what life is about?
Well, that's it.
It's about making
Don't
those memories.
wait to do it. Do it now.
Yeah.
And you've got to pay for it later, then pay for it later. But do it now because you just don't know what's around the corner.
No, I know.
Yeah.
And whatever you do in life, it's just...
Yeah, but there were so many people said, don't come over here at the moment. COVID is a nightmare, the Ukraine problems and all that sort of stuff.
I know. I was terrified.
Yeah.
I was literally terrified because people were making me think, if you go to Greece, you're going to get bombed. And I'll be and you can listen to my other podcasts that I talk about
so
that.
many people on holiday here. And that's what's great, isn't it?
I know. And
People
you
are just living and doing that.
Yeah,
That's
they
the
are.
thing.
So, I just want to say at the end of it as well, is just, and this is just me personally, but I just think that you don't have to spend masses of money to, have a nice time.
Yeah.
Keep it simple and just talk and just
Yeah. The thing is,
be
if
together.
if you've got loads of money, then go to an expensive place and help everybody
No,
out
if you've
with
got loads
jobs
of
and
money,
things, like,
it's
But
Liz
that's what I'm
at
saying.
itsadrama.com. You just, I always answer
Here are
my
my bank
emails.
details. Yeah.
You just send me some over and I'll see what I can do with it.
But that's what I'm saying. If you've got loads of money, then spend it. Like, you know, that's the nice part of it. Well, you know, we like to just, I don't know, do things not so touristy, just so you feel like it's a little bit like
But if someone
you know?
could have said to you, Brian,
Mm-hmm.
the other night when we went to that beach with those candles and the water and everything, you know, oh, I'll tell you what, mate, leave your wife. Come on, I'll come and be on my luxury. No, listen.
Yeah.
Come and be on my luxury yacht. I've got my own private chef.
Yeah.
Here you are, Brian.
You can come and water ski, mate.
Yeah, the water skis there. Use it whenever you want. You know, just there's no toasting machines on our boat.
Yeah.
You just
pop-up toasters.
sit down and
And chefs.
sit down and relax, and my chef will bring you
Yeah.
anything you want. What would you do?
Yeah. Where's the boat, mate?
You wouldn't, Bri.
Yeah.
You wouldn't.
Get that little SIM card, mate. You don't need that on our boat. You don't
You
need
wouldn't,
that.
Bri. No, you wouldn't.
Yeah, we've
Would
got
you?
Wi-Fi.
Would you? Would you?
What?
Well, I wouldn't. I'll tell you what.
I wouldn't change
no.
it for the world. That's
No.
what we did. It was really good. You know, it was great.
Yeah. Right. So off we go now then, because it's an hour long and we're
Yeah.
going off down
getting
to the
silly.
beach now. We are getting
Yeah.
a bit silly. So, like I say, lovely talking to you. And you know that I would love to hear from you. Liz@itsadrama.com. Email me, message me, private message me on Instagram, on Facebook, wherever you want to reach out to me, on YouTube, and Bri too. Oh, do you know what? I've just got to tell you this before we go. And then I promise we'll go. Guess what? This is just lovely, this.
What?
That man that reached out to you on YouTube
Yeah,
and
he
said,
was lovely, wasn't he?
oh, wasn't it? Bri got his first private,
Fan
I
mail
want to
type
say
thing.
fan mail, but I don't, I feel
Wasn't it?
silly
Wasn't
saying
really.
that.
Was it an email or was it
It was a
a
comment on
Well,
YouTube.
it's not private, is it? But
No, but that man that reached out to you, and this guy said to Brian, you inspire me, and I'd love to come to New Zealand and be a chef. And we are all day, Brian had the biggest smile on his face.
he's 47 years old.
Yeah.
And he said, I look up to you and I, you know, this, that and the other with what you've done and helped me. And I just thought,
Would you
it's-
make him a ham and cheese sandwich?
Obviously.
Yes.
And only if he made me dinner, because some of the stuff he was talking, he said, well, welcome, because you're gluten free. He said, you know, you can just, because he's from Mexico, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He said, you can just.
No, he was from Spain. Remember?
He's from Mexico and he was living in the Basque region
Right,
of Spain,
yes.
working over there, and because he'd been working in Scandinavia and stuff, hadn't he? You know, he said, you know, it's basically the Mexican diet is gluten free because it's corn. And you just
That's where
think,
we should go
wow.
next then, Bri. Should we go to Mexico?
Yeah, that is on the bucket list, is Mexico.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, we're going. We promise we're going now. Okay, so have a wonderful day. Thank you as always, for being here.
Yep.
I appreciate you so much. And get yourself down to Paros in Greece.
Yep. So kia kaha, stay strong, kia u, stay true, and we'll speak to you soon.
Okay.
From a different location, hopefully.
Yeah.
See you soon.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for joining us this week on the podcast. We have loved having you here.
If you guys could subscribe to us on iTunes and leave us a 5-star review,
Oh yeah, that would be nice.
that would be absolutely amazing. And make sure to share the podcast with your friends.
And if you'd like to hop over to the blog, find one of the little boxes that ask you to drop your email. I will send you a newsletter every week letting you know when we've released our new podcast. That will go
that'll be nice.
straight into your inbox. So it's www.itsadrama.com.
All right, guys, enjoy the rest of your day, and we will see you next week for another podcast.
Look forward to it. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.